Hi guys, Trevor Batson here, one of your coaches, and I'm trying to get you ready for a Hyrox race. The race is 8 rounds of a 1,000-meter run followed by an event. Event number 5 is the row. To start, we'll want to make sure we have hands towards the outside of the handles. That will help us with our elbow positioning and keep our arms and upper back in a powerful position once we pull the handle back. Now let's break the row stroke into 3 segments: legs, back, and then arms. With a slight forward lean to ensure the handles start close to the flywheel, the stroke starts by extending your legs to get the wheel moving without changing your back angle or bending your arms. Once the handle starts moving, you'll lean back and then pull with your arms once the handle gets past your knees. You'll want your elbows coming out and back at about a 45-degree angle as you finish your pull. You'll come back to the flywheel the same way you pulled, but the opposite. So push the handle down and forward. Once it gets to your knees, bring yourself forward with your legs until you end up in the forward lean that you started with. The biggest mistake I see people make on the rower is bringing their seat and themselves forward before they've fully extended the chain. The meters accumulated on the rower are directly related to how fast and how far the chain is pulled. So you certainly don't want to cut your stroke short by bringing yourself back to the flywheel before finishing your stroke. The second biggest mistake is people letting their heels come up too far as they reach toward the flywheel. A little heel lift is okay, but you want as much of your foot as possible on the pedals to make sure you can get a powerful push with your legs. Lastly, you don't want to lean back too far at the end of each stroke. It's more taxing on your abs than this station needs to be, and while more range of motion is generally better here, it's just not worth the squeeze here, as that's not a strong position to pull from. The row is similar to the ski erg in that you can't really win the race here, but it can really slow you down if you attack it too aggressively. The difference in effort between holding a 2:10 and 2-minute 500-meter pace is big, and it only shaves 20 seconds off your time in a race that's most likely going to take you more than an hour. Not a big difference. However, getting cooked on the rower to the point that it slows down your runs in other events can lose you much more time than you saved by rowing faster. You'll want to familiarize yourself with 2 things: the damper setting and the strokes per minute readout on the monitor. You'll want your damper somewhere around 4 or 5. If you're big and strong like Corey, you can go a little higher. But if you're smaller and a little less strong like me, you'll want to stay in that range. You'll want your strokes per minute to be no higher than about 30. Big, strong people like Corey can get away with relying on big, powerful pulls with a higher damper and go quite a bit lower, like in the low to mid 20s. But smaller guys like me will want to rely on their engine a little more and be closer to 30 strokes at a lower damper. If you're doing a doubles race, you don't want to have too many transitions because of the time it takes to get off and on the rower. Either 1 round each of 500 meters or 2 rounds each of 250 meters is okay. We recommend holding somewhere in the neighborhood of your 5K row pace if you're going solo and 2K pace if you're doing doubles. Kettlebell swings and dumbbell power cleans do a really good job of mimicking the transfer of power from your legs to your arms. You'll just want to make sure you can go light to accumulate a good number of reps to build endurance in the muscles involved. Any conventional deadlift or row variation also targets the muscles here and can make your row pulls even stronger.